Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of League of Legends. This week we have UNI versus UND Green. Do we know what the UND stands for?
University of North Dakota.
Nice. All right. Been to North Dakota a few times.
I never have. Kind of somewhere I've always wanted to go, but
I mean, it's kind of got to like, all of mine were driving through. I'm from Sioux City, so it'd be like driving through South Dakota, driving through North Dakota, and then getting into like northern Minnesota. It was never our end destination, but we would
yeah.
stop in like Fargo a few times. So it's like we're waiting for players. I see most of UNI is in the lobby, but UND is not here yet. We're just kind of waiting, seeing what's gonna go on. I know in the chat earlier, I saw UNI. I mean, maybe I shouldn't spoil this. I don't think they're actually gonna do it though, but they did mention lane swapping, which has been very popular in pro play, although it's about to get absolutely nerfed into the ground. I believe next patch. I don't know when that is, but very soon.
I was thinking the lane swapping situation is kind of interesting because we've had so many patches, especially last year, where Riot tried to shut down lane swapping with changing some tower durability things and different XP things, and it's somehow never gotten rid of it. So I haven't heard anything about changes to lane swapping in upcoming patches, so I'm curious to know what they might be doing to
Yeah,
that.
so it's gonna be in, I believe it's only the first 3.5 minutes. I could be wrong. Or maybe it's 5.5. Somewhere in there. So it's only for like the very early game. But basically if there's like very large radiuses. So let's say you're a mid laner. If the mid laner walks up to kind of where Scuttle spawns, or like where Grubs spawned, the top laner has a debuff on their team. So if your mid lane, you start walking up, your top laner is going to get a debuff where they take, I believe they take increased damage. The enemy top laner takes like 50% damage reduction. The tower takes 30% damage reduction. The tower shots execute minions, like just one shot minions,
What?
and one shot champions. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I saw someone had joked, was Riot losing money from lane swapping just because of how, and top lane has the heaviest, so that debuff lasts for 25 seconds top lane, whereas it only lasts for, so like let's say you, like the mid laner puts down a ward in Grubs for whatever reason within the first 3 minutes, the debuff would last for 25 seconds, even if they just kind of walk into that circle and then walk back. But for like mid lane and bot lane, the debuff only lasts for 6 seconds while someone like leaves that radius. But yeah, it's very
Wow.
they really wanted to shut it down.
So that means it's going to be even worse to kind of try and tower dive or set up cross map things like that.
Yeah, and again, it's only like a lot of people like, yes, it is crazy changes, but it's only the first like three and a half, I think it's
Oh,
3.5
all right.
minutes. So it's
That
not
makes
it's not permanent. It's not like up until 15 minutes. It's only to stop that initial like lane swap.
mm. Oh, that's kind of insane. They
So
are making so many changes this season so quickly as well. We're only a couple months into it. I feel like they've just changed a lot.
yeah, I feel like they have as well. But I mean, you kind of have to just to keep the game fresh, right? People are obviously going to
Mm.
figure things out over years and years and years of playing. But yeah, it is. So it's from 1:30 to 3:30. Oh, and the jungler doesn't affect it. Like if you have a jungle item, you don't affect it because obviously they want you to be able to clear your camps and not screw your laners over.
That would be a very good joke for solo queue. Just your jungler exists and you're debuffed.
Well, yeah, and people have mentioned too, like, I mean, it still can be if you're looking to troll your solo games, like those first couple minutes, you just hang out top lane and roam around, screw your team over.
I think the biggest change this season, it's not that I don't like it, it's just that it throws my rhythm off when I play, is the delay in cannon minion spawn. Because I believe at the start of the season they changed it to wave 4 instead of wave 3 for the first cannon minion.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Wonder which side we're waiting on to join. Are there any picks from UNI you are looking forward to seeing this game?
Ooh. I kind of want to see Pike support.
Pike. Has UNI played Pike support before?
I think a couple of their players have played it in like solo queue. I don't know if they've practiced with it, but
Okay.
I think Pike could be something that's really strong, um, just where we're at in the state of the game, especially before like those changes you were talking about to like the lane swapping debuff. Being able to get those early
Mm.
roams, especially like level 2, level 3 with a very early game jungler, I think can really snowball the feats of strength. So
Yeah, for
really
sure.
not gonna happen. Just kind of like a ooh, that would be great sort of scenario.
I mean, I would love to see it. I don't think I've seen um you and I pull out the pike before, so I think that would be maybe once last semester. But I think that would be fun. I know me personally, I would love to see the Asol Soraka bot again. I enjoyed that the first time I saw it, and I know it's something that you and I enjoys um to play. Of course, the Orange Top as well. Another one of my favorites.
I think UNI has a little too much fun with Asol Soraka.
There's nothing wrong with fun. All right, looks like we've started. Blue is banning first. We'll see. I feel like we've seen a lot of the same bans in the past. Teams have really targeted UNI's jungler.
Mhm.
And here comes that Nocturne ban.
There we go. Mel ban coming out from UNI, very respectful. Even with all of the buffs and hotfix nerfs and whatever, still
She's on a
very
lot of
strong
nerfs,
champion. Oh, it's insane.
but she's very annoying to play into, so I can understand it. All right, we see the Viego ban come out from UND and the Jinx ban out from UNI. There was one match last week, I believe, where the enemy team had banned, like, all 5 of their bans were jungler bans. Which like, obviously, like, I'm still thinking about it. I just think that was so wild. And it looks like we've got a Corki pick from UND Green.
I think the Corki pick can definitely be interesting here, and it has the priority of first pick on blue side, but it doesn't give away what you're wanting to go, because that can still be an ADC Corki, that can still be a mid lane Corki. It keeps UNI on their toes for what to go for in this draft.
Looks like UNI is going to go with the Jhin. We do know they are very comfortable on the Jhin, so I'm excited to see that pick come out from UNI. I believe it's going to be Jhin Xerath bot. Very annoying lane to play into. Lots of poke.
Mm. Last semester, this was banned out against them more often than not. So I don't think I've casted a game where they've been able to get Jhin Xerath, so looking forward to that.
You see the Nami come from UND along with the Vi. I know Vi is a jungler UNI has played in the past. It's be interesting to see them play into it. Urgot.
Ooh,
I don't think I have
spicy.
ever seen UNI play Urgot. I am excited.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So we think it's Urgot top?
Could be top. I've seen games where it's flexed mid. I don't think that would be the case, but um, I think based on some of these bans, UNI is hoping it's going to be the Urgot top. Darius ban starting off the second phase, looking to put more pressure down on that top side champion pool.
The Sejuani ban comes out from UND Green.
One thing I hope UND Green bans, if they are targeting this jungle pool so heavily, is Skarner. He's still such a prevalent pick, a very strong champion phases of the game. It doesn't make a ton of sense why they would be focusing this so hard, not banning it out, but we'll see if
I
UNI
think
decides to pick it up.
it's partially because Blacklit mostly plays like the carry, and maybe not Sejuani, but like the Wukong, the Nocturne, the Viego. Nunu.
True.
I don't think I've seen Nunu get banned.
Hmm.
I don't think I've seen him play Nunu. I am excited to see some roams, some snowballs. Nunu is my, if I ever get auto-filled jungle, I always go Nunu.
I don't know how new players can do it, but there is some sort of magic with going around corners. It blows my mind.
It's kind of terrifying when you're playing like into Nunu and you think you're safe and just whips around.
And Thomas the Tank Engine made of ice rolls around the corner. Yeah.
I gotta say, I recently played against a Nunu mid. Uh, it's kind of scary, even when you see the snowball just coming right at you. it's, uh, it's like, all right, I'll just not farm today. Ooh, Malphite and Talia, lots of rocks. We like to see that.
UND Green could have picked Skarner, another rock to throw in there, but
Ooh, Azir. I've never played Azir, but I feel like he is hard, and so always appreciate people who can play Azir. Whether he's actually difficult or not, I have no idea.
he's pretty up there in difficulty. I don't play him a ton, but when I do, I get stomped. So it looks like it is going to be Corki ADC for UND Green up against that Jhin Xerath. So UNI should have the range advantage in the spot lane. It's probably going to be a bit difficult for UND Green to really get any traction there. So I'm thinking we'll see a lot of jungle pressure towards the top side, especially early with grubs spawning before or a minute after Dragon does.
It's like as everyone's locking in, we're gonna have about 3 minutes here as we wait for the timer to go down. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this Jhin Xerath bot lane, especially I feel like early game they're going to be extremely strong, and we're gonna want to see them apply that pressure because they will have that. Why does it keep going back and forth? You and I will have that range advantage, and I believe Jhin is pretty strong early on, and Corki needs a little bit to build up, get his package. So I think the bot lane should be exciting. I have no idea what the Urgot Malphite matchup is like.
I think they're just going to be tickling each other the whole game. Either one of them smashes the other, or they're just pillow fighting.
I know, as a mid laner, I am terrified if I see either one of them coming at me. Especially into that late game with both of their ultimates. So definitely be looking to see who can kind of, build up. Get a little scary. I'm curious. It'll probably be tank Malphite. But you never know. I am curious to see if he's going to build AP Nunu or tank Nunu. I've also seen like a hybrid where you buy like 1, maybe 2 tank items and then go AP. Don't know what the current meta is, especially in team play.
I think knowing UNI's jungler, it's probably going to be full AP.
Probably.
You have to embrace your Kesha.
So I'm looking at the UND Green's names for the first time. We got Pat's Thick, Count Von Count, OT Gator, King Caterwall, and J Phil. Why do we only see their names and not? That's interesting.
Great question. I think I've been playing this game for so long, there's a lot of things I just kind of go, okay, sure thing, Riot.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to uh make fun of or drag on Riot about is how their client is so garbage. And uh, I remember joking over the summer, like, well, maybe now with the $500 RE skin, we'll actually get a working client. And that did not happen, so, you
No.
know.
I feel like the client works better when it doesn't work because there aren't as many like transitions, or it's like a Hulu menu or something sometimes.
Ah, yes, the Shamrock Malphite. It's almost March, so very great time to be rocking that skin. Of course, it's always a great time to be rocking that skin. Ooh, I like the matching, like Jin and Xerath. They're ready. UNI is ready to go with this bot lane duo.
And of course, you have the Nunu and Willem bot, because what other skin exists for Nunu?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
That's interesting. So it looks like 4 people are going to be.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Okay, they're just maybe curious to see how much they're going to push, or if they're, or how long, I guess, the Talia and Vi are going to stay. What runes did Sarah take? Oh, okay. Took Arcane Comment. I enjoy some first strike Xerath, although probably not what you're supposed to go on support, but it's very fun.
Hey, you gotta make money somehow. Can't take farm, gotta get what you can. I do believe Vi's recall was in vision of that ward still, so maybe a little bit of information going over to UNI and where that Vi might be able to start.
Yeah, it looks like. No, you go.
I was just gonna say, it looks like it's gonna be a bit of a split map. Both junglers just kind of staying on their sides of things and looking probably for a full clear. Try to impact these lanes as quickly and heavily as possible.
Yeah, I was just gonna note both junglers did start top side, so meaning they'll probably be looking to gank bot side once they do their full clear. We've got a little bit poke coming out from bot lane. Corki stepping up. Looks like he does use barrier, which is pretty good for UNI, although Jin getting a little low from that trade.
I think the biggest problem with the range advantage here for UNI is that Nami is very good at dealing with some of their poke, and if Corki is able to go in like that, you don't have a lot of resources if you're this Jin to kind of heal up and take care of that health bar. So I'm curious to see how UNI plays out some of this early game now that this big trade has kind of gone through.
Yeah, and especially we see with the Xerath being, you know, low on mana, only so much you can do early game. Looks like both junglers are kind of getting ready to invade bot side. Okay. See the Nunu coming in with the snowball. Does get
Good
bubbled by
bubble
the
from
Nami. which gives Vi, opportunity to go in. And both teams just kind of poking, not too much from that invade. Not invade. Gank.
Little head bonk in the jungle, yeah. I always forget the name of this Malphite skin. It's Shamrock Malphite. But the first time I saw it, I thought it was Moldy Malphite.
I mean,
I can't get that out of my head.
looks like bot side, UNI is pushed in a lot. They're also pushed in very much top side, which has allowed Nunu to go in and take Vi's top jungle. At least roam around. It's gonna be pretty good for UNI. If you look here, the Nunu has 13 more CS than the Vi currently. Whereas everywhere else, it's pretty much even across the board. With mid having a slight advantage and UND's bot side just having a little bit of that advantage.
Nunu already getting that recall off and picking up the burn powder. I can never remember what that item's called, but just gonna be able to clear these camps a little bit quicker. And obviously with the snowball, he can get out on the map a bit quicker than Vi can as well. So I'm interested to see how he leverages his small advantages in tempo in this game.
Is the stream frozen for you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But we got out of the -degree weather. It shouldn't be.
We
frozen.
did get out of the -degree weather. That is very true. It was 60 degrees today where I'm at, which was so nice. I walked outside without a coat, or a jacket or anything. It was great.
I think the highest it got on campus was 53 today, something around there.
That's still pretty nice. I've got the stream pulled up. I don't know how weird it would be igneous to stream from my stream as it's still frozen. I don't know. It did that last game too. So we've got a fight going on, kind of what we missed over Grubs top side. UNI did get 2 kills, one on the Vi, and I did not see who else died. I'm gonna assume it was Natalia as she is walking back. And it looks like UND did claim those Grubs. So we've got Nunu from UNI looking to set up for Dragon. Take that. It's typically the trade-off. One team gets Grubs, the other team then gets Dragons.
Wait, did they only take 1 grub?
I am not sure who. I feel like UNI started the Grubs and then Vi stole them, but is there a way you can tell?
A little bit of action there in the bot lane as both junglers kind of show up. Scattered timing means that Xerath has to flash away from the Vi incoming. No ultimate available for the Vi though. And Nunu using that ult to kind of get the shield, get some damage and slow in there.
We see a barrier come out from Jhin. We're fighting bot side. UNI is looking, I mean, I guess pretty much all of bot side, not really having much for summoners right now, which kind of gives Nunu, you know, an opportunity to go in as he did hit level 6 along with the Jhin. Beautiful stun. Chain stun there from UNI into the double, the Jhin ult, the Xerath ult, and giving a double kill to the Jhin. You know, that's what we love to see with that combo. Just the long range Jhin ult and Xerath ult, not really allowing anyone to get away.
The deadly flourish there from Jhin to land the root was phenomenal. Keeping that Corki in place. Nunu has impeccable timing again. That's something I've noticed he tends to be very good at, is just being able to repeat gank when he knows those laners don't have their summoners. UNI able to capitalize on that, and are able to pick up the first feat of strength.
Oh yes, that is correct. Okay, so we can see grubs now as I'm just looking there. So they did get all 3 grubs.
Oh, the Vi
Each-
ultimate trailing Azir. Azir ults Vi back into the tower. Tower's gonna get him a few shots. Azir's got very low on mana, but Vi's pretty low on health, down to about a 3rd HP. And that was a good little dash there from the Azir to make Vi have to overcommit just a bit.
Yeah, and that'll cause, you know, the Vi's gonna kind of have to back off, take some time, heal up. Whereas you see the Nunu kind of able to make his presence around the map. Looks like he's gonna gank top side here. Coming in with the
Snowball
snowball.
rolling up top side. Urgot Q is able to hit, get him a slow. Malphite's down to about half HP, getting flung over the Urgot. Urgot does have the ultimate available, just waiting to get this Malphite flash out. The flash dodges it out, and then Malphite ults away from the Urgot ultimate. And that was a big trade, but I think UNI still takes that one, as Malphite has to go back. Urgot's got the push in lane, and his flash is coming back up, and he still has teleport.
And while that was happening, we missed it, but Xerath did pick up a kill bot side, allowing the Jhin and the Xerath to go in, get that turret plating bot. So if you look at the scoreboard here, UNI has done a very good job of funneling their kills to their key players. That AD carry, their jungler. Here he is coming in again, bot side. Oh my gosh. The Nunu ult's able to take out both the support and the AD carry for UND. And I think we're starting to see why the Jhin Xerath has been banned every time around for UNI.
Yeah, I mean, they might have had maybe not as perfect an early game as they were wanting out of the drafts, with that Nami heal causing some problems, but looks like Azir's going to be under fire here again. The Q from Vi hits, another great Azir ult back, is able to get back over his wall. He lives with just a sliver of HP. Urgot teleports in. Nunu's rolling in. Vi dashes away, but Nunu is going to connect that snowball for a little bit of damage. Urgot flashing forward, trying to chase his Talia in the river. But Malphite's there to cover him down to about half HP. Nunu's back here. Vi's going in, lands the ult down to Urgot. Trade 2 for 1 as Xerath is able to pick up the Talia. Malphite ults in, but it's ulting into nothing as Azir still lives with barely a sliver of health. UNI winning out on the fight, but Corki down in the bot lane able to get some gold back on the tower.
You know, Corki is kind of able to take advantage of that, but I mean, I think it's still better for UNI all around. You got a couple more, a kill and an assist on the Jhin, more assists on your Xerath, more kills on pretty much everyone for UNI around the board. I mean, right now we've got UND with 2 kills, UNI with 10. You know, just looking gold-wise, UNI is still up about 4K gold, which is going to be pretty significant. I mean, that's about an item and a half.
UNI did pick up the second set of grubs off of that fight. Them objective a winning, and there it is. So I will have those upgraded boots, pushing their lead ahead just a little bit further. As we see Nunu back down here, bot again running into Vi, but the huge poke damage coming out from Xerath as Nunu is able to ult and start soloing this Vi away, but Talia's there, knocks him away. Nunu is caught between a rock and a person throwing the rocks, as Jin and Azir are able to collapse down onto this Talia, take that kill, and it's going to be a 3-for-1 for UNI.
You know, I think UNI's map awareness has just been really able to show with this comp. I mean, you can just see it through, like, yes, they have the Nunu who's able to get around the map where he needs to be very quickly, but you also have the Jin and the Xerath, you know, kind of walking around, just getting to be where they can have the most impactful ultimates while being safe, because that is one thing you have to think about when you are ulting on those characters. But even with the Azir roaming as well, it's just been, they've been able to pull it off very beautifully with this comp.
I mean, take a look at the vision that both teams kind of have set up. It's all down there on, you know, bot side. UND just kind of having those entry wards, trying to spot out people roaming, but UNI is able to get deep vision in there, be able to see where that Vi could be coming from, and I think Nunu just can be too fast sometimes, as Corki is able to go in onto the Jin under tower, but Jin flashes away, is barely going to live. Never mind, he gets taken down by the Nami, but Nami's going to go down to Xerath. That's a 2-for-1 for the Xerath. 5-0-6. This guy's more fed than the carry. As Nunu starts snowballing into mid again, Talia gets knocked up here, and she's going to go down without much of a fight. And that's just another pick over for UNI.
So Nami does get the shutdown on the Jin, which probably is not where you want the gold from that shutdown to go, but it is a shutdown nonetheless. However, I think it's really going to allow UNI to push the lead here. I thought they were maybe going to push bot side, see if they could get that tower in, but it looks like they're going to help out mid, maybe claim that first tower, or fight over the Herald to get that last feat of strength for Boots.
I keep calling Talia because I have a classmate named Talia. Yeah. Anyway, Nunu under a bit of fire there. Fight all goes wide, but Vi's able to stop the Nunu, but it doesn't matter. The fourth shot from the Jin ultimate is just going to hit him in the face. Talia is able to pick up another kill, and it's just another fight won over for UNI. Talia's trying to be there, do something, maybe get a shutdown here or there, but it's 3-on-1, and Talia just has to run. Urgot dashing in there is going to get hit in the face with a few rocks. Jin looking for the 4-shot is going to get taken down. No shutdown available for the Jin, but Xerath going to be looking to chase, see what else he can get, and he is going to be able to pick up the Talia there. Another big fight won out from UNI.
So it looks like the minions did get tower bot side for UND. Not that it's as important, but I believe it did claim an objective bounty, you know, kind of getting a little bit more gold to UND to help them get back into the game. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really difficult. Just looking at kill wise, I mean, they could potentially put things into just help funnel their Talia. Maybe Corki late game, but you know, being 0-6-3, going to be more difficult for the Corki to shine.
Malphite ult going to come down to the Urgot as Urgot is able to dash away. Vi holding on to that ultimate. She doesn't even have it, that's why she's holding it, but is able to pick up that kill with the Vault Breaker. Good awareness there from UND, able to try and get something back and be in a position where they can start up this Herald.
Yeah, it was a very, very good pick from UND, especially, getting that kill to the Vi. And they will take Herald with that. Of course, now UNI, as they were taking Herald, has claimed their 3rd dragon. So just being 1 dragon away from Soul Point. Beautiful Nami bubble stopping this new snowball.
I think
you can go.
sorry. I think UND is really going to want to look to contest the Soul Point there. UNI. A Mountain Soul Nunu rolling at you at the speed of light is not the most fun thing to deal with. So.
So currently we've got about 5 minutes until Baron, 4 minutes until that Dragon Soul Point, and it looks like Atacon is going to be spawning bot side. I did not see if it was nice shutdown for UND. UNI not quite able to find anything with the Jhin ult. So it looks like both teams are going to be wanting to set up their vision spot bot side, as Atacon is very important, as well as this dragon coming up.
This is a bit of a dangerous take for UND. Their support and ADC down to about half HP. The Nunu ball is going to connect onto Nami, but everyone's there to collapse. Nunu is going to go down. Vi is going to go down. Urgot jumps in, is going to go down. It's 2 for 1 for UND. They're going to keep trying to go onto this Otacon, but Malphite is almost taken down by the objective as Zerathal comes in, is able to pick up one. The Azir ult shuffles in, gets 2 Azir, Zerathal finds the last one. And what looked like a winning fight for UND quickly turned to UNI, and they're going to try and pick up Otacon.
Yeah, I feel like it's always very risky taking Atacon when you haven't had a decisive team fight beforehand, just because of how much damage your team takes from Atacon. Okay, it was Ruinous Atacon, so we got to see the flowers.
Yippee.
Beautiful. But yeah, I just feel like it's very, very risky taking it if your team has not had a decisive team fight win. I mean, we saw it there with the Azir and the Xerath just coming in, being able to clean up all of UND as they were so low, and your MR is also absolutely shredded to 0 pretty much if you're in that fight for long enough.
I think UNI, this bot lane has been playing with really, really good positioning in these team fights. You're looking at a team with Malphite ult, Vi ult, Talia ult, everything that wants to get into your backline, and the ability to stay back and have your team cover and still be able to get these huge ultimate kills is truly something.
Yes, it is. And I mean, we've just, as we've said, been able to watch them pull it off very nicely. So we've got about a minute. Both teams really looking to set up bot side. As you can see, that is where a lot of the vision is currently. UNI has set up into UND's jungle. which they'll probably be looking for a clear here. Starting Rift, right before Dragon. I think it's pretty smart from them just to distract UNI a little bit before Dragon starts.
Both teams looking to 5v5 here in the river. A little bit of poke out going to go on to Corki. Nunu pushing up against this front line saying, hey, what are you guys going to let us get away with? As Dragon spawns, rotations to clear out the mid-wave. Pretty tense here as a single engage could determine soul point. UND walking in blind on the back foot. Xerath with this good poke, able to get some damage down.
Yeah, it looks like UNI is just gonna be able to take that dragon, end this fight.
Oh, the Urgot ultimate to save his life. Nami flashing over the wall trying to get away is not going to be enough. Xerath all coming down. Jhin able to pick up another kill. That is 4 for 0 for UNI and Dragon Soul.
Yeah, I mean, it just looking into that fight, I mean, UNI just came out on top with the trades before the point. UND was already low, just kind of giving UNI the opportunity to go in. And, you know, kind of engaging after that is pretty tough as UNI, you know, just got a big power spike from getting the Dragon Soul. And it looks like they're going to be able to take Baron off that as well.
I hate Nunu. I mean, I love him, but I hate him because he can just chomp Baron and heal for way too much, and they're just going to be able to get it. There's really nothing he can do.
I mean, especially after that Baron here, we look at UNI with 51, almost 52k gold, and UND is about 10k gold behind them, which is pretty significant. Not exactly sure how they're going to be able to come back from this. UNI's just got that level advantage. They have the item advantage, and the objectives advantage.
Oh, the Jhin ult able to sneak through the friendship test and pick up the Corki. As Nami goes down to Azir, I believe that was. Urgot all-inning Malphite here under the tier 2 tower. Malphite flashes away. Urgot taking a load of tower damage, getting really low. Malphite not wanting to engage as he's losing his base. As 4 members of UNI are pushing in, and there's 2 left to defend. Now 3 is Nami's coming up soon. But Malphite's cut off by the inhibitor. Half health. As he rejoins his team. The great Azir shuffle in is able to pick up Talia as they're hitting the Nexus. And that looks like it's going to be game 1 for UNI.
Yeah, I think, you know, this was a very decisive win for UNI, and I feel like we are going to see a lot of different bans probably coming from UND, just because of how strong UNI was with this team comp. Yeah, I mean, here, just looking at the graph, this Xerath coming out with the most damage.
Support, by the way.
Yeah, it was a very exciting bot lane to watch. I doubt we will be seeing it again anytime in the near future.
If there is one reason to ban Xerath against UNI. It is this game. On the side of UND, though, I don't know what you would do going into this next game's draft. You know, you have to take care of the Jhin Xerath bot lane, binning out one of them, and you targeted the jungler so much, but he's still able to pull out Nunu of all champions.
Yeah, I think you know, one ban that I wasn't quite sure about from UND was the Caitlyn ban. I don't know if I've ever seen UNI run the Caitlyn. I mean, I get it. Caitlyn is not fun to play into, but I feel like we might be seeing a little bit of a switch up in terms of that. I'm trying to remember. I know they banned Nocturne and Viego. I don't remember what else, what the last two bans were.
Sejuani and Wukong.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've seen the Nocturne, Viego, Wukong banned every single game. I don't know how many. You know what? We're gonna do some stalking.
I'm doing that right now.
I mean, his highest mastery is Lee Sin. That's got to be like, I mean, best grade NA. That has to be from not recently.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him play Lee Sin a little bit.
Vi. He just kind of plays whatever. Lots of Vi. Yeah, I just have the last 20 games at client, but. All right, so it looks like we are heading into round 2. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what exactly these bans are going to be. So right away, we see the Xerath ban come out from UND, and the Mel ban to match from UNI, and they are still banning the Caitlyn. I mean, maybe UNI would run it if it wasn't banned. I don't know. Have you seen them play Caitlyn before?
I'm taking a peek at Nink's stats. He does play Caitlyn a lot, but I don't think I've seen him play it in any of the NECC games.
You know, maybe his stats are just super wild for the solo queue. And yeah, there comes the Nunu ban. Knew that was coming. Wonder if UNI is going to Swain.
Who?
I'm excited to see Swain. I know Bill likes to play Swain. I think that will be exciting to watch. Curious if it's going to be Swain mid or Swain support. Oh, I didn't notice UNI the Malphite ban. They're sticking with the Jhin. I am thinking we're gonna see Jin Soraka. If I had to guess, I think that's kind of UNI's backup. Is if there's no Xerath, they go Jin Soraka, which is still pretty strong and pretty fun to watch.
Mhm.
Or Hui. I mean, Hui is very I consider Hui kind of similar to Xerath, just in terms of they're both very reliant on their spells and kind of the artillery, hang out in the back line champions. All right, the Vi coming from UND. You know, there's no Nocturne ban yet. Ah, yes, the Ornn pick.
That is probably one of the best and worst feelings as a top laner, is getting put on Ornn duty. Because you're like, yeah, they trust me to be in a solid pick, but if I have to play Ornn again, I'm going to lose it.
Udyr. Okay.
Ooh.
I feel like I don't see. I feel like there was a while where you saw Udyr every single game, but I feel like
Mhm.
recently I have not seen Udyr very often at all. All right, we got our next round of bans coming through.
Tarek,
Tar?
man.
What? That's an interesting ban.
Fascinating.
I'm very
That,
curious.
to me, is a really interesting ban. Because their support doesn't play Tarek. At all.
Yeah, I don't know. We see the Azir ban coming out from UND. Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind the Tarek ban was. And the Seraphine ban. Okay. I feel like both teams just kind of banned whatever for the last.
Yeah.
Yorick. I know. I believe Yorick was indirectly buffed recently. Oh, just kidding. We're getting Urgot again.
Let's
Never mind.
go. This little crab man with shotgun legs is insane.
You know, I've never played Urgot in League, but he holds a special place in my heart for two reasons. Reason number one, I love crabs, and reason number two, there was a there was like a time in Teamfight Tactics where I would run Chemtech Urgot every single game, and it was the first time I hit flat in TFT, and I just ran nothing but Chemtech Urgot every single game. Good times. Okay, Lulu Gangplank is a decision. Um,
I feel like they might try to have that as a Swain Lulu bot lane, but I don't know.
I I'm curious where. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to like figure out because like you have when you have Lulu, you really want someone who is going to be able to put out a lot of damage and I guess Swain can do that eventually if he gets fed, but I feel like, I mean, Gangplank is really the only one. I mean, I feel like, and Vi, I feel like Ornn is kind of like a support top laner, and Swain is kind of a support, like, wherever he's at. So I'm very interested in this Lulu pick.
Maybe someone clicked a wrong button because it says the draft is finished, but UNI hasn't picked the 5th champion.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's something in the chat. We'll just have to see when we get back into the client. But that happens sometimes. Okay, so it looks like Lucian? Lucian mid?
That's crazy. Lucian and Gangplank mid is...
It's a choice. It's a choice for sure. Yeah, so you were right. Swain, Lulu bot. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that I was right.
I don't know where the damage is going to be coming from. But I mean, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe it's a nightmare to play into. I don't know. Maybe they feel like that's the answer to the Jhin. They'll be able to just shut him down.
Potentially. I mean, I'm looking at this, and you've mentioned where the damage is a few times. I'm really worried for UND's team fight, because even last game we saw they had a lot of tools for engaging, getting onto that backline of UNI, but they still weren't able to do it. And now all they have for direct engage is the Vi ult. Like, sure, Ornn has like his ultimate with the big knockup, but like that's not an in-your-face sort of engagement. And I feel like they have to play the team fights very carefully, because if Vi goes in and no one else is ready, then that could be just a 4v5 then for UNI.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see like what, kind of what the game plan is going into this game. I'm ready to see some interesting stuff. I'm ready to expand my horizons of possible team comps for League of Legends.
Probably shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. No lane swap so far. So
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's, if we didn't see it previously, and I think with the upcoming changes, there's not really a point to learn. And I mean, it's definitely something you have, it's very different, right? It's not what we're used to playing. It's definitely something you have to practice and you have to get used to. Because it is a different play style for that early game, which I feel like if you see any players who struggle in late game or struggle in mid game, I feel like the majority of players at least have a good understanding of the early game, whereas the lane swaps kind of messes with that entirely.
yeah. There's a point where last season I just kind of stopped watching pro play for a couple months. So I'm like, oh, this lane swap thing, that'll work itself out. It never did. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll try and understand it. Still don't. Still don't.
Yeah, it's like I can understand it at the most base level, but all of the definitely not glad I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Earlier you mentioned how much you like Urgot.
Yes.
Did you know that Urgot has his own skin line?
What do you like?
So-
Like a skin line for other champions to look like Urgot?
Not quite. So, most of the skin lines have like a theme, like their Star Guardian or
Yeah.
whatever. There is a skin line called the Kaiju, and it has one skin, and it's giant enemy crab god.
I love it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
No funny bot lane shenanigans this game.
No. Nothing too crazy.
I forget Train Conductor Ornn exists. That skin makes me so happy.
Skin. I was admiring it. Just watching him walk around.
Minions have spawned.
Does Swain have exhaust?
Yeah. And lethal tempo.
You know, I haven't like played Swain. I have no idea how Swain lethal tempo works. I don't feel like
I don't.
that's what you normally would go, but
You would normally go something like Electrocute or Arcane
Yeah.
Comet if it's a rough lane. At least that's from my experience, but
that was beautiful. I love watching Hui. I am not great at Hui. I feel like I'm reading a book every time I play him. But I like watching people who are able to do that, like getting both of them with that pull. Beautiful.
yeah, I wasn't sure who was a more confusing champion on release, Aphelios Hui.
I mean, I haven't even
Okay.
attempted to play Aphelios. I feel like it's Aphelios. Like Hui is like, yeah, he's got 9 abilities, but also I don't know, Aphelios just has the whole like you gotta time your autos, like it's not just your abilities, but your autos that change. Right? Because he switches
Yeah. Both Flash and Ignite traded for both mid laners there. Lucian able to pick up the first blood for the side of UNI. Getting a pretty good lead against this Gangplank in the mid lane. Electrocute opted for the Lucian.
just looking up.
So, some unique rune choices this game for sure. As Urgot and Ornn are going to be trading out there a little bit, but they're just tickling each other, as top laners do.
Well, and is Grasp normal for Gangplank? If he's going mid?
Mid, I don't know, but top lane, yeah.
Okay. And I guess probably into the Lucian, it's what you can hope for.
I feel like it's pretty safe to go into the Lucian because you're able to get the procs off of your parlay and everything. So, able to heal up a little bit of the poke coming through there. But
And if we're looking here at, CS from both sides, it's not too different currently, just other than, the Udyr on UNI being up, a significant amount, kind of similar to the last round. Although UNI is just kind of doing, it's either matched or doing just a little bit better on all sides of the board. I just feel like they've got, a little bit more range in these matchups. I think in the early game, just a tad bit easier.
Something UNI's jungler is extremely good at, just from these last 2 games, is having a CS lead over the opponent or the enemy jungle. We saw last game he was able to get to his ultimate earlier than the Vi. This game not really applicable because Udyr always has an ultimate because the 4 forms. But just having that tempo advantage and being able to set Vi behind a little bit is something he's really good at.
Yeah, and as we look at that, I mean, he's just done pretty much a full clear bot side coming back up, setting him up, possibly to take Dragon, as Vi is going to look potentially for a gank top side, maybe into Grubs after. They are going to go after the Urgot, but he's going to be able to get away, although he's thinking about going back in.
He's like, how much time until my legs are back up?
And with that, looks like Udyr is just going to go for the Dragon solo, which he should be able to do. And looks like the Vi kind of had to back off. Can't quite go for Grubs yet. Potentially giving UNI a chance to go in and catch those Grubs as well.
Yeah, Udyr able to start up that Dragon while Vi is kind of stuck mid covering, making sure that Gangplank doesn't go down again, making sure the wave isn't in too bad of a state. And over, I think, 15 CS up for UNI's jungler. As Udyr goes in, trying to get onto this Gangplank before his flash comes, is able to get the slowdown. The stun comes through, the fall. Gangplank flashes away. The ultimate comes down to try and slow him. Udyr down to about a 3rd HP, but is going to be able to walk away. And Gangplank losing the flash and losing that global ultimate, meaning UNI might have a window to look to contest the Grubs.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Grubs are kind of in UND's favor, but as you said, UNI definitely has their opportunity to kind of come in for the steal on that last one. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to try to do, as both the Udyr and the Urgot are there with the Lucian following up. Looks like the Urgot is going to come out to the Ornn.
Vi and Ornn played a bad game of tag team and just he bonked into a wall. That was the wall you wanted. UND able to get 2 of the 3 Grubs there on that first spawn, but not all 3 of the Grubs were claimed by one team, which means it doesn't count for the feats of strength. So no feats currently taken yet. Yeah, all 3 Grubs have to be claimed by the same team.
I always thought it was whoever got the last one just got it.
I don't think so. I could be mistaken, but that's not how it's worked in my games. Sadly.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just an assumption I had. So no, you're 100%. We see a Swain ult coming out. I think Jhin is definitely going to go down to that.
What?
He gets away.
What?
We don't know how, but he got away.
A kill happened mid, and we missed what happened bot, and Jhin lived. What?
Did he use barrier? He used flash. The flash did come out from the Jhin.
Didn't even use barrier. What?
He did not use barrier.
Udyr here trying to make a gank, punishing the Swain for going all in there, but it doesn't look like anything is going to happen. CS lead kind of across the board for UNI except for top lane. speaking of top lane, those two guys going to be battling it out again. Just getting some trades down. Both top laners down to about half HP. Items fairly equal across the board, but Lucian able to finish that Essence Reaver. As Ornn is going to use the ultimate. Urgot's going to whiff his ultimate. Both flashes used. Ornn is going to pick up a kill onto the Urgot. That is big for UND, being able to get something on the map there. Vi looking to go down on this. Jhin able to land the ultimate, but Jhin is able to just walk away. Doesn't have the flash up, doesn't need it. A close gank there by UND, but not quite enough damage to follow up.
Look topside, Urgot looking to go in onto the Ornn here. After kind of greeted for that first turret plating topside. Like he is gonna get to wave flash, does come out.
How does he live?
Udyr on UNI's side, and he will get away. Really close call there for both teams topside. Yeah, as we're going into about 11 to 12 minutes here, this game's a lot less kill heavy this time around.
You had to say something.
Just pick up a kill on the Gangplank mid. I mean, if we look, you know, I guess last game we had already at this point, I think 3 or 4 or 5 kills bot side. Whereas this game, pretty much all of the kills have been mid and with the 1 trade top side. So, you know, I'm still gonna go with that and say it hasn't been as bloodthirsty as last game. Although we do get the Jhin ultimate going out. You know, because UNI sees that, they're like, our bot side has not gotten as many kills this time around.
Bot lane said it's their time to shine.
So it looks like Cloud Drake has spawned.
You know, if there's one dragon you're okay with giving up for grubs, I feel like it's Cloud Dragon. As a little 2v2 scuffle here happening towards mid-river. Vi getting pretty low. Lucian going down. That Gangplank is going to pick him up. Vi having to flash away from the Udyr. The Urgot ult, I think, came out and hit onto the Gangplank, but Lucian was just able to burst him down fast enough. It didn't matter. Udyr is going to start up those grubs, try and secure the 4 grub little buff for UNI.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, UND's not really in a position to, you know, try and go after, claim any of those grubs. Vi's kind of healing up, taking her bot side camp, maybe looking to set up for this dragon. As, yes, UNI will take those final 3 grubs.
Ooh, Hui getting caught out there by the Vi. Swain ult coming down. Jin's doing as much work as he can. Vi is getting super low. Hui is going to fall. Deadly Flourish is going to miss, but Urgot teleports in there, is able to pick up the Vi. Lucian's there to support him. Udyr came down. Swain's going to fall. Lucian's going to pick up the Lulu. And what turned out to be a good pick for UND turned into a bad fight for him.
Yeah, and, you know, here we're seeing it. Obviously, UNI's not able to have as much map coverage this game as it did last game, just swapping out the Nunu for the Udyr. But, you know, now that, you know, we're in that mid-game, kind of done with the early game, you know, they rotated. UNI saw, okay, our Hui needs help. There's a fight breaking out bot side. We want this dragon. And they were just able to rotate and collapse in on UND. It looks like UNI got turret, so I believe that is both feats of strength for UNI.
UNI once again able to get these empowered boots. 14 minutes means Otacon will be spawning top side. No change from last game. Ornn taking a lot of damage to this top side is going to get executed by the Urgot ultimate. Vi coming up to try and save him, but is going to get feared by the Fear Beyond Death and is going to get taken down as Lulu and Swain caught in a little bit of a bad spot as Sway's coming up. Jin's just pushing out that mid lane, and it looks like everyone's going to back off. 2-0 for UNI.
Yeah, and I think just with that, you know, the level advantage that UNI has, especially that top side has over, you know, the bot side looking to roam, there's not a whole lot they're going to be able to do there. Yeah, something I will point out this time around, just because this game has not been quite as bloodthirsty. It is going to be the voracious Otacon that will be spawning topside, giving whichever team claims it those, I don't know, do you call it like a mini Guardian Angel, a fake Guardian Angel?
I call it a mini GA, yeah.
Okay. Jin ult mid.
Lulu is going to get taken down by the curtain call. Vi is going to be able to take down the Udyr. That's a big shutdown there for the jungler, but Hui, that ultimate is able to pop her. Swain against the world right now in the mid lane. Going to get taken a lot of ability damage, and the fourth shot from Jin able to just pop that health bar. And another one fight for UNI.
With that, I mean, Lucian's just farming bot side. Urgot looking to take that turret top. Yeah, it's looking pretty strongly again in UNI's favor this time around. I mean, if we look, you know, here at the gold difference, UNI is up about 7k gold over UND. I mean, if you look at kills as well, I mean, Lucian mid, I didn't even realize, is now, after those last couple fights, 7-0-2 this game. Looks like UNI is taking Herald topside. UND is kind of looking potentially to stop them, but yeah, they're not going to get there in time, as UNI will take that.
A little slow and polymorph going down to the Udyr. The ultimate is going to land. Udyr's caught a little bit out here. Swain ult's trying to get that slow with the Rylai's. He is going to miss. Udyr flashes away. Now Urgot's time to go in. Didn't land the flip. And it looks like both teams just trying to keep their poke going a little bit longer. Urgot getting pulled in, going down to about half health. Now the tickling comes out from Lucian, able to get Ornn down to about half HP. The curtain call comes out. Lucian and Udyr are following. Urgot's a little slow, but he's making it. He lands the Fear Beyond Death, pulls in the Ornn, and that is a kill for UNI.
Yeah, both teams looking for that team fight, and UNI is just able to really pump out that damage. You know, we had kind of talked about that. They don't have a main damage dealer for UND. I mean, you could argue the Gangplank, you could kind of argue the Vi if she's fed, but she's, I mean, if you just look at CS, the Vi is very behind compared to everyone else on either team, just because, you know, as we've talked about, the Udyr, you know, invading Vi's camps early and just getting her set back so far, and it really makes an impact. We've got a dragon spawning, which would be a big cloud again. A third dragon for UNI. But it could be a potential objective bounty for UND.
This is where UND has to kind of make a choice. Looks like Swain's going to keep trying to push mid there, see if they can get the tower. UNI going to take the Drake, sort of uncontested, as Urgot able to get more tower damage down onto that top side. Udyr looking for more, able to stun the Swain, backs off a little bit. Vi goes in, gets hit by the deadly flourish, has to flash over the wall. Good disengage from the Swain there with the W. And everyone's just kind of going to back off and take a deep breath, hopefully.
Yeah, that is, one thing that I feel like we didn't see too much of last game just because of the nature of it, but I feel like Urgot is a champion that if you want to split push, is going to be very easy for you to split push and, kind of get out and just chunk down those turrets, which, I mean, he's been doing, and now we see him, matching bot side, looking to do that as well.
Scuttle, the next big epic monster to be taken. 4 people of UNI up there trying to secure it. Good for them. Scuttle can't dodge all of your skill shots, so always important.
So yeah, I was gonna say UNI is probably planning for Atacon, and they have started it. They see 2 people are bot side, and oh my goodness. So it looks like the Vi, or was it the Gangplank? Someone, it was the Vi. The Vi got the shutdown on UNI's Urgot. They were able to stop him bot side. I thought he was gonna be an absolute truck, but he was able to be stopped in the 2v1.
I was prepared for the spaghetti code of the Urgot ultimate to still kill Vi after he died. So, thankfully for UND that didn't happen, but Lucian able to get a lot of damage here. Gonna dash forward and pick up that kill. Ornn coming in with the ultimate, trying to save his team. Vi getting pretty low. The curtain call coming out, trying to land onto the Vi, is going to get taken down by Udyr. Gangplank going to pick up the Udyr as well. Current call not able to hit any of those targets, or pick any of those targets, I should say.
And coming out of that fight, so it's like, UNI was able to get 2, whereas UND was just able to get that Udyr, which is still a big pick for UND. Although, something I had noticed with the Jhin ult, I was like, I wonder if he's going to go for whoever he found, which I think it was the Udyr, or the Lucian, who was super low. I mean, if we just look at the Lucian right now, 8-0-4 with a 700 gold bounty. If I'm UND, I want to shut down that Lucian. Very bad. Oh, got a loose Herald.
Big cannon minion there. Oh, Jhin gonna take Shelly for a ride. Going all the way down. Is gonna have to flash away though. Vi still get the ultimate there. 4 members of UND here are able to pick up the Jhin. Shutdown goes to the Vi. Fight still happening. Urgot going down to that Lulu. Another kill comes down. Vi gonna go down to the Flay ultimate. Now the Lucian's there coming in with the culling. Able to pick up the Swain. Ornn ult coming out. Trying to make some space, but Udyr and Urgot still on the chase. Udyr going down. Gangplank able to pick up 1 kill there. That collector just such a strong item. But UNI is able to win the fight and starts picking apart the base of UND.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like history is kind of repeating itself with this game. I mean, again, just looking at those kills, 7 for UND, 21 for UNI. UNI's got a lot more towers. They're up. UNI's taken 5 towers, whereas UND has only taken 2 so far this game, and UNI's just kind of able to advance through their jungle, just denying them even more farm. Looks like Soul is going to be Tech Soul.
I can never remember what this one does.
I know there's the plants. I don't know, like, global, but I don't remember what it does for your team exactly.
UNI able to pick up 2 there on the bot side as Udyr and Urgot just take care of that dragon, get Soul there, and UNI able to pick up the tier 2 bot side. Now potentially rotating towards Baron here.
Yeah, I mean, you and I could definitely set up for Baron, although it's still going to be a little bit risky to take yet, just because, well, I guess, okay, I didn't think they had any super minions, but they do have super minions mid that UND is going to have to answer to before they're kind of able to venture out too far. It looks like UNI is probably just going to be able to take this Baron with not too much. We did see the Gangplank ults come in to try to steal, but was unsuccessful.
UNI might not have a Nunu who can solo Baron, but they do have enough damage to burn it down.
Yes, they do.
Massive gold lead here once again for UNI. 11,000. 4th item being completed here by the Lucian, whereas Gangplank still has 2. This Lucian is a monster on the Rift right now.
Oh my gosh, I just realized backlit by stars, they swapped. He was not on the jungle. The Dalai Lama's on jungle, and backlit by stars is mid.
Huh.
Which was swapped from last game.
That's why I was so confused.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. Just looking, yeah, and it looks like, you know, UNI is kind of going in for those team fights now, just really pushing in through UND's base, and it looks like this is probably going to be game for UNI.
Yeah, another clean ace, Swain flashing and trying to save it, but not quite enough. And UNI takes this 2-0.
And yeah, so that's going to be the match. The game's for UNI being 2-0 against UND Green. You know, it was really nice. You know, at the beginning of this, I believe, I don't know if it was on stream or off stream, but I don't know if it was like, someone had mentioned like, I just hope it's like a clean 2 games, and I said, oh, that'll never happen, not with League. And then we got a 2-0, you know, not too long, sub 30-minute game. Maybe I should say that more often.
Well, be careful. We might be on the other end of a 2-0. So.
That's very true. Can't say I was expecting to get out of here before 10 o'clock, but here we are.
Yeah.
So I know we were told we will be doing an interview, and I believe it is going to be Jake. I don't remember where I saw the message. Yeah, Art of Jake. So let me ask him if he's ready for us to pull him up. So, you know, looking back on both games, were there any like moments that were your favorite from either the first game or the second game? And know there's quite a lot. I can share first. I think
Yeah, I
that
gotta think for a minute.
initial, just dump a question on you. That initial, the first time in the first round where we saw the Xerath, and Jhin ult, with the new engage. I think that I was just very excited to watch. Just seeing that, like, oh yes, here is the Jhin Xerath combo that we have been waiting to see.
Yeah, definitely. That was just a good game to see it. I think my favorite moment was the Otacon turnaround as you
Oh
in game
yes.
1.
Yes, that was very yeah, it was very clean for UNI. That was a good moment. All right, I'm gonna bring. Oh, I can't drag him because wait. All right, looks like someone else got him in here. Cool. Welcome, Jake. So 2-0 victory, pretty clean. Usually we don't see games this fast. How are you feeling just kind of coming off those 2 matches?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. I think the team feels great. It's a good change of pace from 3-1-2 losses in a row, so it's good vibes all around.
Yeah, for sure. I know, I just mentioned this. I kind of joked earlier how, oh, there's no way we're gonna see a very quick, clean game, but you guys were able to pull it off, which was pretty exciting to watch. Yeah. So we saw you play the Urgots both games, and that's not something I don't think I had seen previously. Was this something you're kind of like had in your back pocket, you've been waiting to play, or is this something new that you guys are trying out?
Well, I played a little bit because I joined the team and starting in playoffs last season, so Urgot's been my pick for the team really, and I haven't been playing top lane this season, so you know, back in my lane, I'm doing my Urgot things.
Yeah, well, we'd love to see it. It was you know, very fun to watch these 2 games. What so we saw you guys had the Ornn ban topside first game, and then you had the Malphite ban the second game. What how do you kind of feel going into those matchups like with the Urgot?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, going into it, we were pretty confident in Urgot versus tanks. He's usually good versus tanks, but Malphite's just the epitome of anti-auto attacker and that kind of thing. So, you know, and I don't think I was very crazy first game. So after, you know, playing it out, I felt like it would definitely be a lot better to play into Ornn, and I can buffer his airborne with my flip, so it works pretty well.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I'm not a top lane player, but I think that makes a lot of sense. Like I feel like you were able to shine a lot more that second game. Just that we were able to see.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Break, did you have any questions you wanted to ask Jake?
What was kind of the team's approach going into the second game with the Udyr pick not having as much map mobility as the Nunu, with the snowball?
Yeah. I think really it was just a case of we wanted to pick some strong front line, and that's something we sort of struggled with in our first 3 games this season, is being a squishier team. So just picking a, you know, sort of someone who can do a messy team fight, really, like Udyr and Urgot work really well that way.
Yeah. And it worked very well.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, you know, you guys, just what you were saying, I think you guys were able to pull that off. Very well. Was there anything you were nervous about going into either pre-draft pick or after the picks for either of these games?
Um, I don't know. I think we felt that, they were also a little confused because of where we've been flexing our positions around. I think we drafted a lot better than they did. So I don't think we had any concerns from that particularly. Maybe a couple iffy plays during the game, but I think we were pretty confident around the draft.
Yeah, and I think you guys were really able to show that confidence. I know we had mentioned, we've seen you guys flex previously, and especially this game. Didn't even realize that the mid and jungler had swapped, like who was playing what, until like almost the very end of the last match.
Yeah, it's one of our strengths for sure, and we look forward to being able to use that in the future.
Do you have any questions before I kind of ask the silly questions?
No, go for it.
All right. So this is my go-to a silly question. Actually, I don't know if you've been asked the other one before, so maybe I'll pull out the old one as well. So what I've been asking people this semester is, what is your favorite like Oreo flavor or version?
Oh, I don't know if they're vanilla flavored or they're just like the
The
blonde ones are my
golden?
favorite. Yeah, because my grandpa always ate those, so that was when I ate Oreos the most, was with him.
Yeah, that's valid. It's valid.
I know that's not a. I think Remy was hating on that last time. I think when he got asked, but we'll have to get over that.
Well, someone else has said golden. I don't remember if it was League or if it was Overwatch, but someone else has said it. So you're not alone. There's someone
Okay.
else out there who also enjoys the golden Oreo.
2 of 2 then.
But all right, and then okay, I'll ask the tried and true question that we've done in the past. What is your favorite juice?
Like fruit juice?
Yeah, just
Okay.
yeah.
I go cranberry juice. I think a lot of other juices are just super sweet, and I like the tart balance to it.
That's you mentioned. So you have the Oreos with your grandpa, and cranberry juice always makes me think of my grandma because she would always have cranberry
There you
juice.
go.
So got the old people takes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but one day we'll all be there.
Yes, for sure. Cranberry juice is goated, coming from Avery, the coach himself, in the chat.
Wonderful.
All right. I don't have anything else.
All right.
If there's anything you guys want to say, otherwise we will wrap up. So I am Star Clana, joined with. I meant to ask this earlier. Do you want me to call you Ghost Break or Adam?
Either it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. So I am Star Clana here, joined by Ghost Break, casting, and Igneous on production. Thank you to everyone watching. If you've not already, forgot to drop this earlier, but hit that exclamation point of merch. Pick up some sick merch for Panther Esports, reasonably priced and awesome. I'm currently wearing my jersey. And this was week 4. It looks like tomorrow you will see. I know Overwatch will be streaming tomorrow, and I'm trying to think who normally has games on Wednesdays. I don't remember. So I guess come around tomorrow for whoever will be playing the NECC match. League of Legends, we will be back here next week, week 5, on Tuesday. And as always, go Cats.